Oh man, he gets around. This goes out to all you heavy Tim supporters, you heavy Tim donors, donating those gifts, donating those packages to your pastor. Those of you guys that are waiting on Tim to give you a little bit of acknowledgement, waiting for him to say thank you donors. This is going out to all of you guys. You guys wonder, where do those packages go? You wonder, does he really mean it when and if and when he does somehow say thank you? And if he says, hey, that's the best package, or that's the greatest gift that I have ever received, or that we have ever received, does he truly mean it? I just want to inform you guys that my coach, y'all's pastor, he gets around when it comes to these donations, when it comes to these tips. He gets around. We know that, of course, we know the tips are going into purchasing some of these farm toys, some of these farm equipment, implements, some of these shiny implements that largely go unused, but at least they look good. You donors, you guys keep up the good work, but don't think that Tim is exclusive. my coach, listen, from the captain, coming from the captain, I gotta inform you guys that my coach, he gets around. He gets around without really going anywhere. Okay? Although he gets around much, when it comes to collecting and grabbing and begging and asking and saying, give it, more. He gets around, but he really doesn't go anywhere. All right. Before I get into my reaction to the recent IAG Farms video, I first want to recognize those of you guys that have been active in the comment section of my videos. Those of you guys that have been active with the commentary going both ways, keep that flowing. I appreciate it. I do want to recognize you heavy Tim riders, you heavy Tim supporters, you heavy Tim followers. Listen, I hear you guys too. I hear you guys talking about captain, some captain you are. You're not even an alpha male. How can you be a captain? By Tim's definition, you're only an alpha male if you can dominate the women around you, and if you can dominate the children or the kids in your life. By his definition, captain, you're not even an alpha male, so how could you be a captain? I'm like, okay, all right, hold on. Now, granted that I don't do all that domination for my benefit. I have to let my coach Tim have that. Granted, I don't aspire to be an alpha male. Also granted that alpha males are defined by their actions. They're not defined by their titles and titles that they place upon themselves. But with all those things considered, I said I'm merely the captain. All right. But you guys be wilding in those comments. Keep it coming. But in the meantime, I digress. Today, I'm going to provide my reaction to the recent IAG Farms video where Tim is talking about breaking certain stigmas. And I'm like, oh, wow, he's talking about breaking stigmas, some of the stigmas that are associated with ex-cons. About many ex-cons, although there are plenty of success stories. I guess I thought that he was talking about the stigma of many ex-cons reverting back to their old ways, reverting back to living off of the labor of women. He was talking about breaking the stigma that some of these ex-cons are suckling at the teats of the women in their lives. And I was like, okay, yes, Tim, break down those stigmas. Absolutely. Of course, as I watched the video a bit more, I realized that you were not actually talking about yourself. You were talking about Emma, which I like to refer to as Ellie. You talk about establishing more and more abundantly, but it's become painstakingly obvious to us that a better name for your mobile home would be Ellie, as in establishing less and less integrity. So we really should call her Ellie. He was talking about the stigma associated with living in a mobile home, a stigma that apparently he's furiously fighting to dispel. For the most part, nobody cares that you live in a mobile home. We're just happy that you're not homeless. We're just happy that you don't have Megan and those boys out there on the street. We're happy that you don't have them living in a tent somewhere, that you don't have them living in a camper attached to a fake barn with some bootleg heating. We're just happy that you have them in a shelter where they can grow, in a shelter where they can get some type of homeschooling, where they can eat, in a shelter that, although is crammed and jammed, full of people and stuff, we're just happy that you're in some type of shelter, at least that you have provided that for them. Although some people say that it's actually Megan that provided the mobile home for them, but we're just happy about that. We don't really have, us viewers, we don't really have any stigma associated with you living there. Just try not to build it up to be something that it's not, Tim. We understand the work that you put into it, Tim. It is what it is. You've already been recognized for that. You were recognized for that before you shut off the comments. You were getting recognized for that. But Tim, just don't try to build it up. You got your accolades back then, Tim. You don't need the pat on the back on the regular. You should not need that regular affirmation, especially considering that you believe that you're an alpha male. A true alpha male, they don't need daily affirmation. They're too busy going about the work. Early on in the video, Tim informs us that they're walking down to the closed, aka locked farm gates. The gates that are only opened if there's package delivery involved. And so they're walking down there to pick up some package. The package was supposedly a surprise for the boys, although the boys obviously knew what the package was going to be. Tim was trying to go off his script and say, hey, boys, do you think you guys know what it is? It's really a surprise for you guys, isn't it? And of course, Tim was expecting the boys to say, yeah, it's a surprise. And of course, Tim let it slip that we do know what it is. and then moments later, Titus chimed in. It's the raccoon hats. And Tim's like, hey, pipe down. I'm filming here. I said it was a surprise. Stop telling the truth around here. We don't do truthfulness around here. And we especially don't do truthfulness on camera, boys. Stick to your training. I've been training you guys slowly but surely through my actions. I've been training you guys how to be deceptive. I've been training and teaching you guys that the truth does not matter. and you guys up and put out the truth. Okay? You guys clearly need more training, but we'll get there. You too will be like me someday. And I'm like, okay, coach. You're supposed to train them up in the way, coach. Don't train them up in your way, coach.
Family, it's a beautiful day in the land of IAG, and it's going to be an amazing day today. And of course, it's going to be all about God, as it always is. And the boys and I'm getting ready to do some projects, and I'll tell y'all about that later, kind of pick y'all up for that. But the boys are excited because we ordered something for them. And we just got a notification saying that the package was delivered. I'm hoping that it's actually up there, and they didn't drop it off in the wrong place. But we got a notification that says that the package is here that we ordered for the boys, and it's a surprise. They don't know what it is, and they've been, and it's a surprise. They don't know what it is, and and it's a surprise. They don't know what it is, and they've been guessing, trying to figure out what it is. But they hold up for a second. They've been doing such a good job in homeschool, around the farm, doing farm chores. And they've been helping Mama out so much because I've been away doing a lot of work down at the ranch, as y'all have seen, trying to get Grandma moved in. And we've accomplished that goal of getting Grandma moved in down on the ranch. And so now I can come back to IAG Farms and do a little bit of work down here and clean up around here and get things done. And that's one of the things that I want to do today is get this area here.
Now, some people would call those mistruths or untruths. Back in the day, they used to call them white lies. And I guess because they were smaller or lower level lies that really did not even need to be told. But I understand, Tim, you're impressing upon the boys the importance of being able to use those white lies whenever it's going to work to your advantage. Later on in the video, Tim walks us through the IAG Museum or graveyard. He talks about the Bush Hog, the rusty old Bush Hog that they repaired. He showed us a little bit of video footage from years ago. He likes to go back to the previous videos of him actually doing work. The previous videos of him actually doing ministry, but in this case, it was him doing some work back in the good old days when Tim was actually a worker, not just wearing work clothes and looking the part. But they show us some of these old farm implements. He talks about this old tractor, and at first he says, well, he bought the tractor. It's the first tractor that he bought. And I guess Tim, he couldn't hold the truth back. As much as he wanted to, he couldn't hold the truth back. And so he, shortly after, he followed that up with, we actually traded an old minivan for that old tractor. And I'm like, okay, coach. Mistruths, white lies, coach. But why, coach? Why?
I also have some things over here, and we might put this box blade to work today. And we're gonna get this box blade moved. And this is our old Bush Hog. As y'all know, if you're an oldie, I did a lot of welding and fabrication on this Bush Hog because all this metal was gone. Because when we purchased this Bush Hog, it came with our first tractor that we purchased, and we actually did a wheel of deal type thing, and we traded a minivan. This is way back, not the old minivan that we totaled hitting a deer, but we had a minivan, and we traded that minivan for an old tractor. It was like an old minivan for an old tractor, and this Bush Hog came with it. And so we're gonna try to get this moved out the way, put it in storage as well, because it still works good. It just needs some welding and things done to it. Like I say, we really beat this thing up over the years. When we purchased this Bush Hog, it came with our first tractor that we purchased, and we actually did a wheel of deal type thing, and we traded a minivan. This is way back, not the old minivan that we totaled hitting a deer, but we had a minivan, and we traded that minivan for an old tractor. It was like an old minivan for an old tractor. And
later on, Tim talks about what he calls, or what they call, debt-free living. And I'm like, well, if it was truly debt-free, there's really only one definition for debt-free living. And so you guys call it debt-free living. I'm not sure why, but now, Tim, secure debt is not debt-free living. Just because they can come and repossess that bad boy tractor at a moment's notice when you stop making those payments, and just because they can come and repossess that shiny new cattle hauler at a moment's notice, if you guys change seasons and decide to stop making those payments, just because that's secured debt, that doesn't mean that you're debt free. So I do understand why you guys call it debt-free living. But more of an example for us viewers, Tim, would be if you guys are actually living a debt-free life.
we're trying to like eliminate the stigma of a mobile home or trailer living, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we call it debt-free living, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we call it debt-free living, you know what I'm saying? Debt-free, mortgage-free, and it's an amazing thing to have that freedom, because this is just, you know, and that's not saying that we're not going to, you know, buy or build a stick-built house on down the line, but you know, as for right now, you know, we're happy and we're enjoying this process, and we want to encourage some people that may be in the same situation that we're in, that, you know, the stigmas don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like being debt free, being mortgage free, you know, and it doesn't matter if you have a mortgage as well. Like it doesn't matter if you're in debt as well. It's nothing like people who are debt free aren't better than people who are have mortgages and have debt, you know. But this is just the lifestyle that we choose to live. So we just want to encourage you in everything you do, whether that's mortgage living, mortgage free living, whether that's raccoon hats. Let me see if I can put one of them things on right quick. Let me see. Oh, my hat. Let me see. Drop my white hat. Times drop my white hat. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get one of these things on. We need a bigger raccoon with this head. There we go. So y'all be encouraged, whether it's debt free, whether it's living in debt, whether it's debt free, whether it's living in debt.
A bit later, Tim informs us, he talked about moving around some of his equipment. One piece of equipment that he was moving around that had to be moved was the camper, the old camper that they were using when they were doing their off-grid work. Apparently now it's used as one big mobile storage unit, and it's jam-packed full of stuff. Donors. I know you guys, some of you guys have been wondering, where do all the packages go? Where do they go? Well, donors, there you have it.
All right, y'all, I think I got everything moved. I'm gonna be able to move with the side, but I know we got a lot of stuff in there and it should be pretty heavy. But the camper, the side by side should be able to handle it. Like I said, the side by side has handled some big stuff before. I just know we got some low lying areas and I don't want the camper to scrub and then the side by side get stuck. So I think what I'm gonna do now is crank the tractor up and I'm gonna hook to this box block.
If you peek through the windows of that camper, you can see all your packages that you donated. All those donations that you thought were going to good use. All those donations that you thought were possibly in excess, and you felt that, well, if they're in excess, of course, being a responsible pastor, your pastor Tim, he would donate those packages, the ones that were in excess, the ones that were in abundance. But Tim, he shows you guys that, hey, I still got them, every last one of them, and they're jammed up in this camper. How about that, donors? At least you don't have to wonder any longer. And before you send off that next package, at least you know where the final destination is.
Oh, no problem at all. The side-by-side seems to be earning its keep. It's pulling it. The side-by-side is officially pulling the camper.
Later on, Tim shows us some of the useless farm equipment that he has accumulated. I guess there's a bad boy Bush Hogger. There's the brand new auger that they bought, even though they're not going to use it for another 3 or 4 months. There's the side-by-side. There's the bad boy tractor, of course. There's the trailer that they bought a while ago that gets little to no use now. And of course, there's that shiny new cattle hauler. So Tim proudly shares, he proudly displays his implements and his farm toys, all while the boys still go uneducated. Or for you heavy Tim supporters, you guys might say undereducated. Some of us would say uneducated. Others would say undereducated. But he's accumulating toys all the while Megan is trapped at the farm with no vehicle. Come on, coach. All about God? I think the message here, Tim, and it's a proud message. Maybe you feel like it's an alpha male message, but the message is obvious here for those that are willing to keep their eyes open and to even listen to what you have to say and not just look at the aesthetic. It's obvious that it ain't all about God. It's all about my coach.
The power company, they look like they're about done back there. And like I said, I got this implement here unhooked, and my implement section is looking good out here. We got the black and the bad boy auger here, and then we also have the bad boy Bush Hog here. And I don't know what's next. Maybe a bad boy box blade or something like that. Maybe a bad boy like a rototiller or something like that for our gardens. But anyway, all right, y'all. So let me go ahead and get back on the tractor. And I'm gonna try this. I don't know if it's gonna.
Near the end of the video, Tim informs us that going forward, the Resurrection Ranch videos will only be posted about once per week. And he mentions that because they're 30% done with the work, because they're 30% done with the work at the ranch, and because Grandma Lily is moved in, but not really moved in, she's sleeping there overnight. But I guess because some of the work is done, there's not a mad push anymore. They don't have to push full steam ahead. He's trying to convince us that Grandma Lily is happy with having a house that's half done. But he's not going to be filming as much. He's only going to go down to visit, aka bother Grandma Lily every now and again. And I'm like, oh, that's a novel idea, Tim. I guess, Tim, Coach, I guess you're going to tell us that one of your viewers emailed you that idea. That you should ease up, go easy on Grandma Lily. One of your viewers emailed you that you should give her an opportunity to enjoy some of her retirement. Give her an opportunity to enjoy some peace in her home without constantly having that camera in her face. But however you got to that point, Coach, I'm going to commend you for backing off on Grandma Lily. However you got to that point. Whether it was Grandma Lily giving you that whooping, wata, giving you that whooping like she was giving Brian that day. Giving you, I guess Grandma Lily would probably give you a verbal whooping. But whether it was her giving you that whooping about you dragging her and slow rolling her, or whether it was some intervention from a higher being, from that IAG, whatever drove it, I'm just thankful that we got to this point. I'm going to fully believe it, though, when I fully see it. Because I'm guessing that if you do start to run short on content, you're going to be back up over there at the ranch. But we'll see.
With the side by side. So y'all just stick around. I'm just getting my feet back wet on IAG Farms. Like I said, I've been gone for so long, helping Grandma get established down there. And so now I have a little bit more free time, and I'm still going down there back and forth. And you all may have noticed that there's less videos being posted down there. Like I said, our goal is to post one video a week down on the ranch now. Now that we're not, full steam ahead in renovation, she's there and everything. And we don't want to stress Grandma out too much, having her recording videos and doing all those things. We want her just to enjoy herself, have a good time, and sit back and relax. So most of the videos is going to be recorded down there, going to be recorded by me. And so I'm going to only go down there every so often, do little projects here and there and get things finished off. Because we're about 30 or 40% done. And we still have, a lot to do. But we don't have to be as, hectic with those things because she's living there. And she can do some of those things herself. We can contract some of those things out. And then we can go down there once a week.
All right. That's it. That's it for my reaction to that recent IAG Farms video about breaking the stigma. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please chop it up in the comments. Tim, aka Burner Tim, bring some of your heavy Tim writers as usual. I expect to see you guys in the comments doing what you do. I want to shoot out some love to my current subscribers. Thank you for showing me that love. For those viewers that have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing so that we can continue to shine that light. Until next time.